It's Wednesday, November 25th, 2020. Before I start this evening's video, I want to give everybody a heads up. From time to time, there is a person or people who use my face, a picture of me, my name. They go down in the comment section and they try to sell cryptocurrencies. I do not sell cryptocurrencies. I do not sell anything. And I would never go in the comments and start trying to sell you cryptocurrencies. I would not go into the comments and try to sell you anything. I have an SD Bullion link down below in my description box. That's it. But I would never and will never, and you would never see me go in the comments section and try to sell you cryptocurrencies or anything for that matter. So I know that most of you understand that, and you see the scam or the scammers from time to time in the comments, and you're aware of that. But for the people out there who are not, I'm just giving you all a heads up. It is not me. It is just a scammer or scammers. This happens from time to time. I know it's been happening to a lot of other channels. So just be on guard, on your best guard for that. There are scammers out there. There always will be. There's nothing I can do to prevent it or stop it. And it happens to quite a bit of the channels out here. So just want to give everybody a heads up. But let's get into what is happening right now in the real world, in the real economy. I'm sure most of you saw the jobless claims this morning for last week. 778,000 jobless claims last week. I'm speechless. The week prior to that, it was 744,000. So, 2 weeks, 1.5 million people have lost their jobs. This is really getting out of hand. Dow Jones was down, I think, 173 today. NASDAQ was actually up. I think it closed at a record high. But in the real world, if we had a real free market, if we had free markets, the stock market would have collapsed today on the news of 778,000 first-time jobless claims last week. It would have collapsed today. It would have been down 3,000 points minimally, but it was only down. Dow Jones only down 173. NASDAQ up. So again, this is the disconnect from Wall Street and Main Street. And, look, for the people out there making money, God bless you. I hope that you're not in this when this whole thing crashes. People write me and go, hey, I'm making money right now. There's nowhere else to put money. And this is my fear, that so many people are so blinded now, believing that these markets are bulletproof. They cannot fall. And when they do, so many people are going to be wiped out. They're not going to believe what happened. They just believe that nothing bad can happen, that there can be no major correction, there can be no collapse, nothing can happen to these markets. The Fed will fix it. They will step in. They will just continue to inject money to infinity. But the day of reckoning is coming, ladies and gentlemen. If you're making money, I really pray to God that you're taking some of those profits. I hope and pray that you're buying assets. I hope and pray you're putting some cash away. And I hope and pray that that millions of people will not be in these markets when they do crash. There are going to be very, very few exits on the way down. CNBC, jewelry sales staging a holiday comeback as shoppers look to add sparkle to challenging year. Wow. I was just talking to somebody that worked at a Tiffany's in my area, and they are basically saying they don't know what's going to happen this holiday season. It's unpredictable. This person seemed very scared, even discussing the holiday shopping season at their store. It's been very, very quiet. And right now, they just say it is basically the unknown about the holiday shopping season at that store. But jewelry sales were down from March to October by about 30% year over year. The country is in a depression. We've got anywhere from 30 to 50 million people out of work. Another almost 800,000 first-time jobless claims filed last week. And it's going to continue. We're going to continue to see this bleeding of jobs. We're going to continue to see people more and more desperate, waiting for help, waiting for a stimulus check. And CNBC today, they're talking about jewelry sales staging a holiday comeback. It might make a comeback for the top 1%, but the top 1% cannot carry this economy. They cannot carry the retail shopping season. The 1% will continue to buy, and they are buying. They're buying cars, they're buying jewelry, they're buying mansions, they're buying yachts, private jets, they're buying properties, they're buying gold, they're buying silver. But it's the rest of America. They are living paycheck to paycheck, if they even have a paycheck right now. 15, 16 million people worried about being evicted by December 26 of 2020. And we don't even know how many people at this point are unemployed in America, because the numbers that they give us they just continue to lie. Airlines on track to lose $157 billion as global slump worsens. This is on The Hedge today. Look, the airlines are going to be cutting a lot more jobs. We're going to see a lot more layoffs in the airline industry. We'll see if they get another bailout. More than likely they will. But many of these airlines, many of these jobs are on borrowed time. CNBC today, Thanksgiving is usually a $250 million box office haul. This weekend, it will be hard to reach $20 million. Hollywood feeling the pain now also. And one of the videos I shot the other day at one of the local theaters, an IMAX theater in my area, it's been closed down for months, and there is nobody has any idea when it's going to open, if it even opens. What we are watching, what we're witnessing take place in this country right now is incredible. I've never seen anything like it. I talk to people who are much older than myself who have never seen anything like this. And it's about to get a whole lot worse, America. Americans raid savings to prop up spending as incomes slide in October. Also on The Hedge. I'll just paraphrase through this article, very interesting. So with incomes shrinking as government welfare payments fade away, how did American households manage to grow spending in October for the 6th straight month? Simple, by digging deeper into their savings, which soared following the massive fiscal stimulus in April. Now guess what? All that savings is dwindling away. People have used it to pay rent, to pay the credit cards, to pay for groceries, car repairs, the urgent cares, feed the kids, etc. And now it's dwindling away, and there's no stimulus coming anytime soon. So if Americans don't get a stimulus check here, I don't know what kind of numbers we're going to see with holiday shopping. I don't see what is going to happen now with 15, 16 million people on the brink of eviction. By December 26, we've got the mortgage forbearances beginning to expire, I believe, in January 2021. More rental moratoriums expiring early 2021. Guys, this is absolutely turning into Mad Max. It is just getting crazy out there. If we would have talked about this 5-10 years ago, people would have thought we were absolutely crazy, but the reality is things are beginning to crack, and this collapse is getting worse. Another article today, more households are experiencing hunger in the U.S. And this is really getting serious. This isn't a couple hundred people in a big city. We are seeing millions of people in America without enough food. We're seeing thousands of people lining up at food banks all over America. You know, these people who comment and say, oh, you live in California, you don't understand what's happening in the rest of America. And please comment down below. I would really appreciate if you would comment down below and tell me what is happening in your city or town. Are you seeing more homeless? Are you seeing more store closures? Are you seeing more people going hungry? Are you seeing people losing their jobs? Or is everything going great? There are people who write me telling me that everything is great in their town. And I hope it is, and God bless them. You're very fortunate if you live in an area that's doing well. You are blessed if you have a job right now, if you have some savings, if you have food and assets and water. You are absolutely blessed. And I know that there are people that are doing well and who are blessed. But there are millions of people. See, we forget, as long as we have a job and we're eating 3 squares a day and you can have a Coca-Cola or a bottled water and you can put gas in your car today, everything's great in life, right? Because we don't look at the millions of people who are going hungry. We don't look at the 6-7 mile lines of people at food banks lining up to get food for their families. We don't see the people who've been out of work for 6 months, who are waiting for that back pay and unemployment. They're falling behind in rent, their mortgage, their credit cards. The repo man just took their car. We don't see that, and we just block it out. We don't worry about it because we have a job. We're eating 3 squares a day, so we don't even think about the negative. We don't want to, okay? But we will when it happens to us. Then we'll start thinking about it. But in the meantime, people are oblivious. They're in denial. They're ignoring what is happening. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to see it. It scares them. It's negative. Instead of maybe going out and maybe helping some people and getting some people some food, no, we'd rather just ignore it and hope that it goes away. I'm here to tell you, this is not going to go away. The food shortages and the food lines are going to get much, much bigger. The job crisis in America is going to get much, much more serious. The vacant buildings are going to continue to pile up. We're going to see very big problems here in America. Another one from the Hill today. Long lines form at food banks across the country ahead of Thanksgiving. I'm reading this everywhere today about these food banks and food lines and people going hungry. And it's almost like this doesn't even sound like the United States of America. It sounds like we're in some third world country now where people are waiting hours and hours for food, lining up. I had somebody write me yesterday and they told me that I need to stop being negative because they've made $19,000 in the stock market. You shouldn't be buying gold and silver. I shouldn't be telling anybody to buy gold and silver. Everybody needs to get into the stock market. Everybody needs to get in the Ponzi scheme. And again, this ignorance that I see with people because they have a job, they're eating 3 meals a day. They made $19,000 in the stock market. So the heck with everybody else because they're making some money. But what's going to happen when those dollars become worthless? What happens when that person loses a job and they now have to live off of that $19,000? And let me tell you, that'll go real fast. I just look at what is happening and what a price America is paying for Wall Street, for a few people to stick their nose out, tell us how much money they're making, bragging, this braggadocious mentality that people have, bragging about this fake stock market. Look, tell the Fed to raise interest rates so people can actually save money in the bank and get paid something. Tell the Fed to raise rates. You know they would never be able to do that because things would crash instantly. Tell the Fed to stop injecting trillions of dollars into the economy, into the markets. Tell the Fed to step out of the repo market. But they can't, because the whole house of cards will come tumbling down. Tell the big banks to stop manipulating with the gold and silver prices. The day of reckoning is coming, no doubt. I'm playing the game. I'm going to continue to buy gold, to buy silver, and play the game, because sooner or later, the Fed will no longer be able to inject enough medicine into these markets to keep them alive. Wall Street at this point is gutting Main Street. It is gutting America. And so I hope people, when they brag about the money that they're making, I hope they see the price that America is paying for this fake stock market. I hope that they see the gutting of America. I hope they understand that Wall Street is sacrificing Main Street at this point so a few people can make some money. It's really horrific. It's really criminal what we're watching take place. People won't care until it hits them. And again, when that dollar becomes worthless and half the country doesn't have a job or is going homeless or going hungry, you can tell me how much money you made on the stock market, because what a price America is paying for a few people to make some money on the stock market. The future of America is being ravaged at this point just for a few people to make money right now in the stock market. And when this thing collapses, people are going to pay such a price. Another article today, rich Americans are increasingly looking for second passport. The 1% have run this market all the way up. And when they crush it, when they crash these markets, it's going to be the 1% that say adios, goodbye, see you later, laughing all the way to the bank, laughing all the way to their islands, to the ranches, flying on their private jets with lots of security. You will be left here, the 99%, the people that made a couple $1,000s in the stock market. Nobody's investing. People today are gambling. Do you think all these people on Robinhood know what they're doing? Everybody is gambling. The 1%, they're savvy. They know what they're doing. And they're going to know before all this comes crashing down. They're going to be long gone, laughing all the way to the bank. The rest of us will be living in a third world country, a currency that has collapsed, a stock market that has collapsed, most people sitting on massive amounts of debt, people's credit will be damaged, equity in their homes will be destroyed, people will be debt slaves. Many more people are going to be in food lines. Let me tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. Many more people are going to go homeless. But we will be left here to deal with the mess that these very few at the top of the pyramid created, this giant mess in the stock market that is going to destroy pensions, IRAs, 401ks. It's going to destroy people's wealth. Yes, many people have literally been forced to the poker table here because you earn nothing. You're losing money putting it in a savings account. It's not keeping up with inflation, that's for sure. So people are forced to gamble it on Wall Street. And many feel so emboldened now because they've been doing very, very well. And again, if they're smart, they're pulling those profits and they're buying assets and they're putting cash reserves away and they're paying their debts off. But greed is a powerful emotion, I guess. And too many people cannot leave the poker table, and they're going to stay there a second too long. And the people who've made $19,000, $190,000, or $1 million will get obliterated in seconds. I'm going to leave it there this evening. So much happening in the world today, so much happening in our country, but the most horrific thing today is the job numbers. The jobs just disappearing, vaporizing here in America. I just cannot believe how bad and how fast things are getting. And look, I'm doing the best that I can to prepare. You know, I'm a gold, silver, cash guy. But look, diversification is so important. You know, if you're into cryptos, good. I think that diversify as much as you can. If you can buy a piece of land, if you can, you know, buy a small house somewhere that's safe and pay cash, phenomenal, or have a very small payment. If you're buying cryptos, wonderful. But you know, I'm going to continue to buy more gold, more silver, more mining stocks, put more cash away, and wait for the sales, because I believe big sales are coming. Guys and girls, I'm literally speechless when I see how many people are losing their jobs and what's happening on the streets of America. And as I'm watching some of the business channels this morning, nobody was even talking about these job losses. It's like they don't even care. The stock market doesn't even care. The stock market doesn't care about infections, doesn't care about cures, it doesn't care about job losses. It just cares about the Fed feeding it more and more money to keep it alive. If you think that this is going to go on forever, you're sadly mistaken. It took us $3 trillion for this party this year in the stock market. How much is it going to take in 2021 to keep the party going? Is it going to be 5 trillion, 6 trillion, 10 trillion? How many more trillions just so a few people at the very top can continue to get rich? Look at your economy. Look at your jobs. Look at your paychecks. Look at your savings. Look at the evictions. Look at the homeless. Look at the vacant buildings. Look at what's happening in retail. Everything is being obliterated, but we're supposed to believe everything is okay because the stock market is at near all-time highs. You have got to have a very low IQ, or you're just demented if you believe everything is okay because the stock market is doing well. This country's in big trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Very big trouble. And if you thought 2020 was bad, wait till you see what's coming in 2021. We are going to see the blowback from all these job losses, from all these vacant buildings, from all this debt creation, from 0% interest rates. We're going to start seeing the blowback, and we're going to start seeing the ramifications in 2021. We're going to see what's going to happen with these forbearances. We're going to see what's going to happen with the moratoriums. Can they extend them? Yes. But how much longer can this all go on before there are no more extensions, before we can no longer have 0% interest rates? Can we go negative? Yes. At some point, though, rates will go up. Wow, it is unbelievable. And here we are heading into December. And look at the destruction that we're dealing with this economy. I feel so bad for so many people who are going to have a horrible Christmas. And I want to wish everybody, I hope all of you have a good Thanksgiving tomorrow. We all have a lot to be thankful for. But look, this is really getting dire with what's happening. Please comment down below. Let me know what's happening in your areas, what's happening in the job market, what's happening with local retailers, the closures, what's happening. Let us all know. I can sit here and talk for hours, but the comments down below, that is where the real news is. And that's where where so many people really have woken up to what's happening in America because of your comments. When we hear what's happening in the Midwest, the East Coast, and everywhere in between, so many people read the comments, and it's eye-opening. We're not going to get that kind of news on the television. So I want to thank everybody for those comments. Please comment down below. What is happening in your areas, and what do you see coming in 2021 in your areas, in your communities? Would love to hear what is happening in your area. So please comment down below. I'm going to leave it there. Have a phenomenal Thanksgiving tomorrow. You know, if you're watching this video, if you're breathing today, you are blessed. We got big problems, but that's why you and I continue to prepare. This is why we began preparing years ago for what is coming. Continue doing what you're doing. And if you haven't begun preparing, you need to start immediately. If you're watching this video, you're not prepared, start right now. I just pray that people wake up and see what is going on. Stop looking at what's happening at the stock market. It is a complete lie. It's a complete illusion. You know what's happening. Many of you have already lost a job. You know somebody that's lost a job, have a family member that's lost a job. So if you have the opportunity, if you have the means right now, prepare now. God bless. Have a phenomenal Thanksgiving. I'll talk to all of you very soon.